Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dorks podcast, episode 16. I'm your host, Tasty Snackcase. As always, brought with my two co-hosts, McBee. How's it going, McBee?
Very good. Today's episode brought to you by Fire Urchin. It's a bad card. Don't draft it.
What the fuck does it do?
I don't know. Some garbage. Has trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+0 till the end of the turn. And it's 1/3 for 2. Yeah.
But it's red, and red with trample. That means it's automatically good, right?
Automatically good. Because then you're just like, Spell Sling. It's huge.
It's tier 0.
I'm pretty good, man. It's good to be here today. Got a lot to talk about. Feeling good.
Lots to talk about. And then we also have our other co-host, Dan. How's it going, Dan?
Hey, everyone. It's great to be back. Missed last week. I was pretty exhausted from a long day of doing stuff, and great to be back on the show and back in action.
Back in black. I hate that.
Well, I am wearing all black, so I guess that does fit.
It's very slimming. Very slimming.
I do feel slim. My name is not Jim.
I don't get that joke. That just right above my head.
You never snapped into a Slim Jim?
No, dude.
Spice.
Dude, no. Slim Jims give me headaches, actually. I can't fucking stand them. Too much grease.
You're just not doing enough steroids like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Rip.
Didn't he, die in a car crash or something?
Yeah, he had a heart attack while he was driving down the road.
Fucking tragic.
Just bit it into the fucking ditch, dude.
He and his wife,
man.
right? He had a heart attack. His wife was in the car.
Oh, I didn't know his wife died too. That's
I don't
really
know if
tragic.
she did die. I think maybe he just died.
Dude, what was crazy was him and the Ultimate Warrior were having this drama feud via over social media, and the Ultimate Warrior passed away. I think it was a week after or a week before, and the other person was like, yeah, brother, he was on so many steroids, brother, blah 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 blah, just trashing the other person. Then the other person just kicks the bucket the next week.
What?
It was just irony.
That's fucking perfect,
yeah,
dude.
It was
Wow.
And then you got Hulk Hogan's like, yep. Yep.
Slightly racist. All right. Brother.
Oh, man.
Oh, they got my number. I'm fucked.
Allegedly. Dude, that's crazy. It's like social media karma just evened them out completely.
Yeah.
Leveled them both.
Ultimate Warrior was badass. Oh, I don't know how, man. That dude probably does so much cocaine. But he's got that old man strength, so...
There's a video that I've seen of him having a woo competition with someone else, but it wasn't too long ago, and he's just straining, getting them out, and it just sounds like it's scratching him. So he's like, whoa, whoa. He just beat red face.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to watch wrestling, he was probably pushing 60. This was 15 years ago, and he would do this move where he would run into the corner buckle and do a somersault or something over it, and half the time at his age he just couldn't do it anymore, and he would just roll over it and just completely eat shit, and it was so painful to watch because he's an old man at that point, he's pushing 60 and he's just completely eat shit, and I'm just ooh, that's gonna hurt, that's gonna be sore for at least a week. I mean,
Grandpa, we don't want to see you hurt yourself anymore.
Yeah.
I got a fighting spirit, kid. You can't tell me what the fuck to do.
I mean, I remember watching. He was the 15-time champion or some bullshit like that, and they would count the crowd would count it out. 15 time, up to 15. And then at a certain point, this crowd just stopped giving a fuck. They're just yeah, whatever. You've won it 20 times. We've lost count.
No one cares anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about wrestling. Let's talk about something else.
I was about to say, I think wrestling's more popular than it's ever been, but yes, we got to get back on the track.
John Cena.
All right, so I guess we'll just start off from the beginning. GP Portland starts off this weekend, Friday, I believe, and all three of us will be attending. I will arrive Saturday midday along with Dan. Sean, what time are you going to be arriving?
I will try and do that also.
Okay, so we'll all probably show up between like noon to 3 p.m. I'm more than likely, like, it's probably going to be a definite that I'm going to be showing up on Sunday as well, hanging out. The plan is hang out, play some Commander, play some Popper, Cube, be very casual. I might play in a side event or two, but I don't know, dude. That shit's overpriced. As is with normal GPs, that shit ain't cheap. So, what about you, gentlemen?
Is the main event standard?
I think it's modern, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, it's so weird. The site says like the formats are standard, limited, with sealed deck day 1, draft day 2, modern, legacy. Like, oh, this is just a general like for Grand Prix. Never mind, I fail. Disregard everything I just said.
Joy, thanks. But what are you planning on doing there? Are you bringing a cube or?
Yeah, I'll bring my cube for sure.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, we got a cube, man. We've got to do it.
Cuban B
must happen.
I haven't cubed in a while, man, and it got so lame. Like Sullivan drafting against Josh because like he would only draft Reanimator. So I was like, okay, I'll just draft Reanimator too, and we'll both have just crappy like Reanimator decks, and whoever wins wins. And so then it was just like he started figuring that out, and was like, okay, I guess I'll draft Mono Red. And it was just, it was stupid, man. I like real draft though.
Does your cube have power?
Oh yeah.
Real power or proxy power?
Oh, it's proxied, son.
Okay, good. I was about to say it's a bad idea bringing that shit to a GP.
Yeah, I lost an Underground C way back in the day, like 2004, 2005, at like the Grand Prix that was, I think it was the first GP in Portland, and that sucked because now like knowing what C's are worth, I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit, that one stings.
Yeah, thanks, proxies. Never again will I lose any actual valuable cards in my cube.
Exactly. Yep.
Did you like lose track of it, like turn your back on it, or?
Well, what I drafted with a few people I didn't know, and I think someone just like stole it. So, or it just happened to fall on the ground.
Yeah. Shady motherfuckers coming around playing cube.
Yep.
Like, somebody drafted a control deck, huh? Oh, my dual lands are gone. That's sad.
Oh man, I needed a 4th dual land for my deck. Thanks, Ground. Thanks for taking that for me. Fucking scumbags. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it casual. At least I am. I'm definitely not gonna attend the main event. First off, it's not worth the price of admittance, especially since, from what I understand, at least the last year, because I went to GP Portland 2015. I got a mat there. I went to Seattle 2015, got a mat there. And then regardless, I got 2 mats specifically for those. And then for this past one that was 2017, I think it was standard. They didn't have personalized mats at all. So it's like, what's worth paying the price if you're just going to get a substandard mat that costs like $15 online, when normally you get like, I don't know, at least some sort of unique Magic art.
Yeah, and you can get it signed by the artists if they're there in attendance. I don't know what the have you heard about the artist strike that's going on?
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys talked about that last week, but
we did.
Okay.
You fell asleep during, I believe, because you were in the chat, but then you knocked out.
Yeah. It's so messed up, man. Like I have some insider like information on that too that I can't really divulge here, but I can say that a particular individual made it possible for CFB to get the contract through WotC for like the North America region, and like that has kind of set us on this path where CFB can, you know, have a monopolization on these tournaments. And here we are with these artists, like, you know, clamoring for just peanuts on the dollar of like whatever they can get to recoup their costs of going to these events. I mean, it sucks that like CFB just has no competition, and they have these like contracts now through Wizards, where it's like you are the main tournament organizer for these huge events. When like their prices went up and the services that they're providing went down.
That's the shitty part. Like, not only is there a monopoly set on the GP circuit in general, but CFB has plainly stated that the GP model is not profitable at all. So they have an empire of sand, essentially.
Oh, they're saying it's not profitable for GPs?
No, because attendance has been down for quite some time. Like, it's been down like at least 15-20% year after year.
I wonder why.
Yeah, they can't seem to make a good go of it, man. People can't seem to make a tournament worth a damn. I mean, like, people. I guess it all depends on the strength of the format, right? The format that you're putting out, like a limited GP, you're probably not going to get quite as many people.
Well, not
as
only
modern or a standard.
Not only that, but Magic players are just very value oriented in general. They don't like going to local game stores that have bad prize payouts if other ones in the vicinity are better. That's usually how it goes. And that's probably what it is for GPs, you know, especially if you're just regular Joe Blow who doesn't really have hopes of winning. He's not going to want to fucking spend $70 to play in the main event to O2 drop.
Yeah, yeah. Like $70 to just throw away like that. That's almost an entire booster box that you could get.
God, good point.
I mean, it's like, would you rather like throw away your money here and maybe day two, maybe like 10% chance at day twoing, or have this guaranteed like booster box?
Or like you have $70, you want to go play Magic event, possibly scrub out, or do you want to go get a brand new video game and like dinner to enjoy as you play your video game?
Yep.
What's the card that you get from the GP?
Shit, I don't know actually. Now that I think about it,
you usually get a mat and a card, right?
Yeah, you usually get a card and you got a mat. I remember one year in particular, it was GP Seattle. It came in like an 800 card count box, so you got that for free, and you got a card, you got a playmat, you got a pen, like CFB pen, you got like a CFB life pad. Like they used to hook it up, or no, it was Cascade Games. It wasn't CFB. That's why the package was fucking good, because Cascade Games ran the event.
There you go, competition.
Yeah. Competition breeds innovation, and it breeds people trying to entice customers to use their service. And since CFB doesn't have any competition, and because it's not profitable, they have no reason to invest into the events. And
I feel like the card is Mutavault.
Yeah, it's Mutavault. I'm looking at the modern main event page right here. So you get a Mutavault, a life pad, a deck box, and your entry fee for $70.
Yeah. Nah.
Is a promo Mutavault worth like $30?
Well, I mean, like regular Mutavaults are like what, $10-20. Foil multiplier, probably like a $30-$35 card.
It's really good looking though. It's a fine looking Mutavault.
You know what? I think I saw it on Reddit today. Was like there's these new promos that WotC's printing for next year's events. I think it is, and one of them is Lightning Bolt. And it looks amazing. Yeah,
the textless lightning bolt.
Yeah,
with the translucent text bar at the top that they took from, what was it, Signature Spellbooks and the FNMs. They took that and threw it over. Like, yeah. Here, let me pull it up. Actually,
I liked it. It's like a angel or something just zapping like a minotaur. And it really like resonated with me, because I remember when I was a little kid opening up like revised booster packs and starter decks, and Herloon Minotaur was like the card I got in every fucking booster pack, it seemed like. And like now, I had no clue Lightning Bolt was really good back then until I started playing this Mr. McBee here at what was our lunch hour or something, and you used to kick my ass with your mono red deck.
So here it is in all of its glory.
Oh, God.
Right? Isn't that shit sexy?
Oh!
Right?
That is sick.
I like it. I think it looks nice.
That is legitimately really good looking. Like, that's up there with regular Bolt.
This is next year's GP promo, right?
It says Magic Fest, right? And that's what GPs are turning into in 2019 is Magic Fest, right?
God, that's sick, dude. I gotta see that one again.
Maybe this gives me the benefit of the doubt that maybe Wizards of the Coast sees what they're doing and they're trying to pull back and like try and turn around with shit like this. The fact that they're bringing back
one of the best spells of all time,
foil Textless, which is something that we've wanted since they got rid of that from the program. They, even though Ultimate Masters is very greedy product, and we'll get to that eventually, it is bar none the best master set since, I don't know, probably Modern Masters 2015. I think it's better than Modern Masters 2017. But that's also debatable because the cards probably won't hold value. But in terms of them hitting reprints and like listening to their consumers, it's little things like this. Like now I have to keep a benefit of a doubt and hold it with just a tiniest grain of salt that no, they're the same greedy corporation that they've always been. But I don't know,
dude. call me a pessimist, but when I look at this thing, first I'm like, oh, it looks great, but then I think, didn't we used to get these in the mail? Like, just get them sent to us for just playing Magic and supporting our local shops by showing up to tournaments. Like,
but
we used to get this shit in the mail, bro.
But then Hasbro realized that it didn't make any money, so they were just like, "Yo, Wizards, you gotta stop that shit."
You gotta send everybody just a play set of those things.
Yeah.
I wonder how much these things are gonna be.
Dude, if you have beta bolts, sell them now.
Beta bolts? Why would you sell the beta bolts? It seems like those would always maintain their value just because they're beta.
Supply, yeah, but in that sense, but demand is gonna go.
There's a much more finite amount of beta bolts than there are.
That's true. They'll never be printed or reprinted in like that frame, so they do have the iconic thing to them. But like, man, I would just totally want this over a beta bolt.
Yeah, I think this is up there in the top like 5, of the 5 different kinds of ways you can get Lightning Bolt. The Judge promo with the old border on it. That one I think is up there. The Beta Bolt I think is up there.
I think this beats the other foil Textless.
Oh, the other foil Textless one is garbage. I hate that one. Like,
really?
I see why some people like it, but it's just not for me. It's just I would always have like 4th edition or even just the 10th edition one that's like very just red and white. Whenever I think of the 10th,
I don't even remember what the other Textless one looks like. I think I own one in my cube too.
It has like a hand on it.
Yeah, it's like a spindly like hand of thunder that's like rolling down. Or not thunder, lightning.
Is it at least killing a creature? Like,
doesn't look like that.
I don't know, man. I like the fact that it's like, damn, that's a Minotaur just getting fucking zotted from above.
And it's got all this.
I'm gonna look that up now.
All this volcanic lightning. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. The other Texas bolt is right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that one looks like.
Oh yeah,
so
that's like nowhere close.
It's an actual hand coming from this guy that's shooting the shit out of a little drake or whatever.
What is that supposed to be? Like the hand of Nicol Bolas or the hand of the Red God? Like, I don't know. What?
It was before Theros, so couldn't be Perforos. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense, especially in terms of Magic lore. We don't really have something like that in Magic, do we?
No, lightning bolt's a common man spell.
It's found across every plane.
Right.
Except where lightning strike is legal.
Or steering spear.
We only need to reprint Lightning Bolt like 12 more times. It'll be the most printed card ever. What was it? Stone Rain for a while, and then what's the most printed card ever now?
Giant Spider.
Mountain, technically.
Giant Spider? Okay.
Mountain.
Yeah, Mountain. Yeah. Besides Basic Lands.
Yeah.
Probably Giant Spider.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those little devils out there.
I think it'd probably be something. It might be like Llanowar Elves or maybe even Bop. I don't know.
No. Because like Giant Spider's in a bunch of Like
Giant Spider was in almost every core set.
Yeah.
I think it missed one or two.
and
But
some
so has Llanowar Elf.
And it was an
Dominaria bumped it up by
Omni-Cat.
one.
Yeah.
Man, I love Llanowar Elf, man. Like I that card is one of my favorite cards to play against in Standard. Mainly because I played Jeskai, but like Deafening Clarion, I love that card where they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna rush out my hand, and I'm like, yeah, get him, clean it up, scoop them up, boys. Oh man,
Okay, that's what Goblin Chainwhirler is all about. That's a card that people keep forgetting exists, and then they just slam it, and they're like, "Oh, that's a nice board of 2/1s that are just gone. Thanks, boy." Fuck it, and a 3/3 first strike on top of it.
I don't play against the mono red deck that often. Now it's like the black red, like I'm just gonna play a fuck ton of bolts and like card draw and just like burn you out deck. Like I play against that one so often. It's so frustrating.
Really?
But like Revitalize is super good against them, so it's all good.
Revitalize, is that the gain a life cantrip or? Yeah.
Renewed Faith.
Yep, Renewed Faith for 3.
Revitalize is a good card, man. That's like it's like you draw 2 cards basically because the 3 life against burn is a full card.
Yep, counters their lightning strike and gets you a card on top of it.
Eat it, mono red.
Yep.
Chain whirling douchebags. I got beat by mono red today while I was playing the Arc Lightning or the Arc Phoenix deck or whatever.
Dude, I love playing against that Arc Phoenix deck. I threw in like 3 Settle the Wreckage because I just got tired of losing to that and to Carnage Tyrants.
I hate that card.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck this, dude. We are not losing to this bullshit anymore. Because I kept on playing against these goddamn like Golgari mid-range decks that just like, jam Carnage Tyrant against you, and that's it. Like their whole game plan is just get out a Carnage Tyrant and like win the game off of that. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't playing this anymore. I'm jamming 3 of these in here. That's good against the Drakes matchup. It's good against this one. So
the Wreckage is a good card.
Yeah, it's you have to anticipate though when and how people can play around it though, because some people are actually smart and completely play around it. But like today, I had this guy play around it, and he completely wrecked himself by not just cracking in and like forcing the settle because he gave me like 4 extra turns by just not going all in. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna attack you with my Jade Light Ranger for 4 every turn. I'm like, sweet deal. And then I got to like 8 mana, and I'm like, all right, I'll kill your Jade Light, draw 4 off of my expansion explosion.
Well,
and
maybe did he have any cards in his hand?
He knew I activated my what's the land? Search for Escanta, and I got an early settle in my hand, and so it was revealed to him, and so he knew, and I knew that he knew, so I used that to my advantage to like, okay, if you're gonna play around settle, then I'm just gonna like buy my time here. It was such a good match, man, and he got me down to 1 life. I'm just sitting there like,
that's a fucking dream, dude.
Kill your shit, like Ultimate Might Teferi, get wrecked. It was so good, man. Oh my god, Arena is so much fun. I love it so much.
That's ruthless.
I fucking hate Teferi so fucking much.
I love it, man. I've only had one like rage roper where they just like rage and just rope the rest of the match, and I won in like 10 or 15 minutes later. It was quite frustrating, but I've only had one of those douchebags.
Rage and rope? What?
Yeah, where they like
hangs out with you the whole time.
Yeah, they waste their time and yours because by their logic, it's like, well, if you're gonna beat me, I'm just gonna waste your time.
I did that once, but I did it unintentionally because the first time I did it, or the only time I did it against Teferi in specific was when I learned that Teferi was a win con of himself because I didn't read his second minus or his minus. I didn't read that he could tuck himself and yourself for 1 million, and I was like, oh, he's gonna deck me, and that's when I realized it was like, oh,
that was their number 1 mistake really with that depressing card. Because you can just play Teferi as your win con. Like, I'm gonna deck you like old school Millstone style. Like, I'm just gonna deck them, and I've done it countless times, dude. Like, I almost cut my 2 Crackling Drakes from my deck because I just wanted to play more answers and more removal.
Wow.
Yeah, but I couldn't bring myself. I'm like, I don't want to dirtle that hard. That's pretty hard. Like, because most of the times you play a Crackling Drake and it's like a 14-4, and you're just like, yep, attack you once, and that's enough to seal the deal.
He's got guy with protection up. Good to go, man.
Yeah.
all the cards.
Jeskai control is pretty legit. And now there's this list with like that recently won a tournament where it's like 2 Niv Mizzets and like a couple dive downs. It's not just playing 1 dive down, like 2 dive down.
Dive down is a real card. I play that. I play that in my Izzet control, where my only win cons are Rouse, Zarek, and Niv Mizzet, and I play a 3 of dive down in there. I love that card. Dive down is so good. Plus, it's really synergistic with Niv Mizzet in general. But it's essentially better than Spell Pierce in that deck, because most of the time they're trying to hit your Niv Mizzet, and you're just like, no, sorry. And now it survives combat. Dude.
Like, there's so many times where I'm like, oh man, he could have Spell Pierce here. But then I'm like, you know what? I really don't care, because if he's playing that, he might not have Dive Down. And so I just run it into Spell Pierce, and they Spell Pierce me. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. As long as he doesn't have Dive Down. And sure enough, they hardly ever have it. So, like,
they have it when it's at its best.
Yeah. They seem to always have it when they have 3 of the draw a card enchantment thing. And, like, it's just like that little much more to like put him over the top against me. I'm just like, fuck, I hate dive down so much.
I fucking love dive down.
It's so good.
I want to try it out in other formats like Pauper, because it is Pauper legal. I'm like, there might be something here with this. Might jam it in Delver or something.
Yeah, Guilds of Ravnica is such a sweet set, man. Like Niv Mizzet, after playing with it and experiencing it, I'm like, how is that card a rare? That's a mythic, man.
Niv Mizzet is insane.
Yeah, an expansion explosion.
Bar none.
Yeah, they're like the power level of this set just continues to impress me. Like if people are still on the fence about standard, man, get Arena and just throw some money and you'll be happy.
Man,
standard is so awesome right now.
I've been very happy with all the standards that I've been playing on Arena, and just playing the dumb like red blue deck, because all it was like I got a Phoenix in a pack, and then like cracked open a couple mythics to make the rest of the Phoenixes, and I was pretty much off to the races, because they give you a lot of the pieces of that deck with Arena, like the draw spells and the yada yada yada, and jamming a lot of games has been very fun.
Yeah, what's your favorite matchup?
It feels best to beat the deck with Nicol Bolas and like Eldest Reborn. Whenever I beat that deck, I'm like, yeah, the control deck get dunked on. I've been.
How about you, Nick?
Moving cards around feels good. Got my deck nice and tuned up now.
My favorite matchup, or
yeah. What do you like playing against the most with your Drake's deck?
Well, it shifts. I have a different slew of decks, really. If I scrub out hard with one deck, then I'll just switch over to like Golgari mid-range or something. But the 2 decks I've been jamming the most are Blue-Red Control, featuring Expansion Explosion, Niv Mizzet, and Rouse Eric as the win cons. And then the deck that I've been playing the most and tuning the most, and it's actually been performing the best for me, I mentioned it last episode, is Sultai Control. And it's a black-green control shell, really, that splashes. Actually, more or less, it's a mono-black control shell, splashing green for Find Finality, and maybe one other card I can't remember. And then it splashes blue for Chemisters, Insight, Discovery, Dispersal, and then a bunch of counter spells on the sideboard to drag out against the or to fight against control. But the pre-board is meant to fight against all the aggro decks. It's running like the Ritual Suits and Find Finalities and full playset of those. And then the win cons in there is another blue splash, which is Murmuring Mystic. Murmuring Mystic is a fucking house, and that card is underplayed in this format. And then a playset of that and a playset of Carnage Tyrant and 3 Eldest Reborn, and that's it. And the deck,
you play a playset of Carnage Tyrant? You are filthy.
Dude, playing the control deck and then having Carnage Tyrant as your finisher makes people scoop fucking immediately because they don't know what to do.
You can fit that main deck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's filthy. You are fuck, you filthy bastard.
And I can always discard it because I have stuff like Eldest Reborn and Find Finality to bring that shit back. But yeah, the early game is just duress you and thought erasure you, just hand rip the shit out of you, play like Eldest Reborn, and then spot remove everything that wasn't in your hand that I couldn't get, and then just slam down a Mystic or a Carnage Tyrant and grind them out.
Sounds like Jeskai's worst matchup.
Yeah, I have a pretty fair matchup against them. It's like
Yeah.
50-50. Post-board, it's way better, but...
What a deck with Murmuring Guy and Carnage Tyrant.
They're best buddies in that deck, man.
Best buddies.
Especially with fucking Eldest Reborn. Like, usually when people see Eldest Reborn, I shit you not, game 3 I was going against someone who had Graveyard Hate. And what was it? I think it was the Relic of Progenitus. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Silent Totem or something like that. But I slammed down a Eldest Reborn, and the plan was he had cast his Eldest Reborn prior to me, and so he was going to make me discard, and I had Carnage Tyrant in my hand. But when I played my Eldest Reborn, he got rid of his win con in the graveyard. I can't remember what it was. I was like, that's cool, dude. I didn't care about that. And he brought back a Murmuring Mystic from my graveyard, but then I discarded Carnage Tyrant and fucking brought that shit back. It was so good.
Wow, what a match.
Yeah, dude.
Get dunked on.
They need to have like a way to save games on there on Arena. So you could like go back into replay type mode and watch your matches over again, and then like maybe like send a screenshot to a friend.
Man, good call.
Because like that was one thing about Magic Online, like early on, that I thought was awesome, was being able to go back and watch your matches. Like I would do that a lot when I first started playing Moto, is watch my limited matches, because Morph was the main mechanic back in the day in Onslaught when Moto came out, and man, Morph was so frustrating because you never knew what it was, so you had to always like guess. Just like, man, like if it's this, then I need to do that, and if it's that, then I need to do this. And so half the time you were wrong because it wasn't the Skirt Commando, it was actually a stupid like battering Craghorn. Like, oh man, Onslaught with Morph was just the worst format.
Shout out to everyone who remembers Onslaught Draft, because I don't know what you're talking about at all. I mean, like, I understand Morph, but I didn't play Cons Draft, so I don't know what it's like to play against Morphs.
Imagine a set of bad creatures, and all those bad creatures just happen to have Morph on them too.
All those bad creatures, at the very least, can be a 2/2 for 3.
Yep.
Wasn't there like some like 8-mana 1/1 that was also a Morph creature? I think it was in that set. Because it was Scourge, right? The one with the dragon head on it. It's like it's something Egotist or something.
It was
like
a morph that you could unmorph for like 8, and the idea behind it was like its huge casting cost being 8 was like good with Rush of Knowledge and like, was it Torrent of Fire? It was these cards that like had effects that were generated off of the mana cost of like your highest converted mana cost of like your creature or whatever. So like you would like unmorph that guy and then untap and like do this big effect, but it's like, you have 8 mana, like you should be winning already. Like, what do you need to do that for?
No, refuel your hand and then play other mediocre cards.
Oh man, like the Invokers were sweet because you could, like the green Invoker and the red Invoker were awesome because you could just, you know, get those out on curve and have them be efficient in their own right. But like late game, they were just a house. Like the red one would just lava axe them for, was it 8, I think?
Yeah.
And then the black one was like -3/-3 a creature, and then the green one was a grizzly bear that you could pump and give it +5/+5. They were legit cards.
Like a Thorn Lieutenant.
Yep.
It's like a little Thorn Lieutenant.
Nope.
Only really bad.
You know what Thorn Lieutenant's in? It's in Arena. And you know what Arena is doing right now to MTGO? Speaking of, it's fucking murdering it.
Yep.
Pooping on its chest.
Yeah. So,
ooh, that's vulgar.
Dan, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Well, lately there's been some data points that a guy came up with
right now, so I can pull it up.
Nick's out here with these facts.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and look it up right now. Just go ahead and explain it.
Well, basically, like the gist of it is like treasures. The economy, like the demand, has just fallen, just completely off the radar on Magic Online, and it's couple combining factors of the treasure chests that they introduced, like I think 2 years ago, and Arena going to open beta. And so what the treasures did was like they increased the supply side of the economy on Magic Online, so that in turn, like, you know, outstripped demand slightly. And then here we go with Arena, where all these players are like, cool, I want to play that instead. This interface sucks, you know, like, let's do that. And so then everyone's like selling off their collections on Magic Online to pay for Arena. And like, I mean, you just have this huge fire sale going on in Arena, and it's not stopping because there's just more and more people leaving, or on Magic Online, there's just more and more people leaving Magic Online for Arena.
Yeah, as you can see on the graph as I have pulled up on here, and by the way, this article by Florian Koch, or Koch, I think it's Koch, wrote a really good article here. And this graph here represents different points in time. And you can see, I believe this is the total value of getting a playset of MTGO, how much it's worth, and it crashes down to each event here. The first one saying announce reduced redemption schedule. Then it's keeps going, and you know, it's a steady decline still, even without Arena being announced. And this was the phase of Magic Digital next, so people knew something was coming. But then it falls, Arena announced, spike up, and then crash down. And then Arena starts closed beta. It's just slowly picks up because people are like, oh, Arena, you know, it's fine. But then they realize MTGO is pretty much dying, and it goes down again. Arena starts open beta and goes back down.
Can I say that is the best description of a line graph I have ever heard?
Yes. I'm a pro at this. I'm gonna
many compliments to you. Look at how low it was there at the end. Ooh, boy.
I want to see what it looks like beyond just this, because yeah, it looks dramatic from now, but I want to see like it beyond just this time frame. Like go back like 5 years, 6 years, but I don't know if he'd be able to have that amount of data. I want to see if the decline has been a recent thing or if it's just been in general crashing.
That's a feel bad fact right there for folks that are getting into.
Oh wait, never mind. From 2000, I'm dumb. So here we go. Here's a much longer graph.
You just didn't read the article. You're not dumb.
No, I'm saying it's a good article, yet I haven't even read it. Hashtag exposed. Fucking Christ. Oh.
I
love you, Nick. I really, really do. Deep down inside. Love you.
What is show prep? What is that?
What is
Asking
professionalism?
ye shall receive. Scroll down.
So he chronicles as it says from 2001 to 2015 to today, and he goes over, as you mentioned earlier, Dan, with the introduction of play points, treasure chests, Arena pretty much being the foot that pushed it over the edge. Really,
what did Finkel say about Arena? Now I want to read his quote.
Yeah, his tweet was like he thought it was trash at first, but he was hoping he was wrong.
I played one match with Arena and then couldn't bring myself to play another. I think at this point it's better to scrap it entirely than try to fix it. Really hope I'm wrong, though. Fucking 2018. You better eat them words, Finkel.
Hey, I thought the same thing about Arena. When I first played it, I was like, I don't know, man. This is not Hearthstone. This is Magic's a really complicated game.
When I first played Magic Arena, my concern was when I heard that it was a thing, up to the day where I played it, I was like, it needs to be Hearthstone, but with Magic. At this point, it just needs to be like Hearthstone. And I played it, I was like, okay, it's fine. And then I was sold, and I never looked back to Magic Online other than to sell a chunk of my collection. But,
wow.
Yeah.
So in that spirit, then, what do you think is the right amount of money to put into Arena? Like, where does the cap on your
100
money into Arena stop?
$100 to $150 is where I say That's a good stopping point of getting a lot of packs and being able to get enough wild cards to get what you need out of your collection, especially after in January when they implement the new not wild card but treasure chest system, or not treasure chest. It's the new way of acquiring wild cards. They're not gonna, if you get the fifth copy of a card, it will instead make it another card of that rarity. So that's their temporary fix. That's what they hope will actually solve the problem. But we need
you'll only open cards that you do not own, instead of getting a fifth card that will go towards your vault progress. So that would lead me to believe that they might be doing away with the vault. We'll have to wait and see. But you'll only open cards you don't own. So like I did a little bit of like napkin math and like theorized what for my own results, like what I could expect from it. And like if you just play like one or two of the what's it called, the 500 gold constructed tournament, the quick constructed tournament, and if you can average like 5 to 6 wins in that format. Now granted, that's a lot, you know, you got to have a pretty solid deck and you're only playing one game, but if you can do that and just get your first 4 wins of the day done, you will amass like, I think it's like 400 rares over a 90-day period that will, you know, undoubtedly be rares you don't own. And there's 72 I think it's 72 or 57, one of those numbers in the next set. So essentially like you know, 4 times 72, do the math, 288. You know, you're going to have more than enough of rares that you're acquiring in that 90-day period, where you'll be, you know, every quarter you'll be working towards rares that you don't need from that newest set, and so you'll be getting rares from the other sets that are currently in standard, like Guilds of Ravnica and Ixalan and whatnot. So like if you can just have enough time of the day to play one tournament and get like 5 wins, you'll be golden. Like the free to play model will work.
Rad.
Yeah. You
just have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to be a competitive player, and you have to have like a good deck, a tier 1 deck, which not all players can say and or can afford. You know, like not everyone can throw $100 on a game because they might be living paycheck to paycheck. But
that's kind of the issue though with the game is though you can't start the game outright with a tier 1 deck. If you do that, you have to buy into packs immediately because you can't like get singles or anything like that. So in order to take advantage of the free to play system, you have to put in a considerable amount of money. So
yeah.
I guess like it's a matter of getting your mileage. Like put your money into a tier 1 deck, stay with it, become a really good pilot at it, and just grind it out for like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, like the $5 bundle where you get like, I think it's like, what is it, 2,500 gems. That's super good value. And if you can like, if you're a really decent player at draft, you can really churn out a lot of value out of that. And then like I said, if you just play every day and get your 4 wins, that's like a pack a day you're averaging, and then you have the 3 packs a week that you'll get. So it really adds up, like just the free to play nature of the game. But then if you, like you said, if you're gonna spend some money on the game, then yeah, you can really kind of overshadow those free to play players and really start to rack up the wins. So I think you just do whatever you can afford. Like if you want to drop like $50, $100, $200, it's whatever. But like your return on your investment and your gains are going to diminish the more money you spend. Like the person that put $100 on there is not going to be at a severe disadvantage to the person that's put $500 on there. Like,
yeah, especially with how the ladder works.
What would you say is the best way, like, to spend if you have, say, $50 that you're going to put into Arena? You know, say you get it like Christmas money or something like that. You know, just say. You want to put that into Arena, what's the best way to spend that $50?
I would say just buy packs and just craft a constructed deck. Whether it be a budget constructed deck like mono blue or mono red, and if you get enough of the packs that you open that are rares that you need for the deck you want to play, like a tier 1 deck like Jeskai Control or whatnot, then craft that. Drafting is because not all players are that great at draft, and the thing is like the drafts on there are super like they're excruciating for value. Like if you go like 0-2 or 1-2 or whatever it is, like you're gonna just get wrecked on your returns.
Mm-hmm.
And so like not everyone can go like 4-2 or 5-2 in a draft and just like make money and go infinite. So I would definitely recommend against drafting it, unless you're a really experienced player and really know what you're doing. And I would honestly just open packs, because the wild card like ticker thing that you get for every pack you open.
If you buy packs, you should buy the older packs, not the brand new packs, because the brand new packs are your prize packs. So you're going to get those incidentally, and you can't choose what your prize packs are going to be. So if you want your older cards and you want specific older uncommons and commons for your decks, you should definitely be buying Dominaria, Ixalan, Explorers of Ixalan.
Yep. I really like Dominaria and Ixalan just for the fact that it has the buddy lands. Like the buddy lands are so insane, or the check lands, or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Like, those things are just insane for tier 1 decks. Like those are your biggest like culprits of like having that deck be like, man, this deck's like 12 rares. Well, now it's like 16 or 8 or 20 because it has 8 check lands in it. Like it really puts a deck over the top in terms of how many rares or how much value is in the deck. But yeah, like Dominaria is insane because it's got all the lords. It's got the Chain Whirler, the Tempest Djinn. It's got great cards like Lyra Dawnbringer, Karn.
Ooh, I forgot about Karn. Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you buy your packs early in and you're looking for a deck to build, I would suggest, because you had mentioned monocolor earlier, and it came back into my head. But now that you brought up Lyra Dawnbringer, I was like, oh no, wait. When you build a deck and you're working around that $50 budget, try and maintain a monocolored list, so that way when you get your rares, you don't have to spend rares or rare wild cards on your lands. Instead, you can do that on bomb rares or cards that will help you win the game. Because personally, in my opinion, being able to play the game with finishers is better than having a complete mana base and nothing to cast it on.
Exactly. Yep.
So even if you have to deal with the shitty common lands, so be it. But as you were saying, Lyra Dawnbringer.
Oh, well, I mean, just Dominaria is just a really great set. I mean, History of Benalia as well.
History of Benalia is fucking house.
There's some pretty legit uncommons in there as well, like Eldest Reborn and Embolus Clutches. If you're like, I mean, if you're really going budget, like those are some really powerful uncommons.
I've been really impressed actually with the mono white, like a Johnny's Pride Mate, like rando life game deck. I was like, wow, this thing is actually fast.
Oh, the Pro Tour deck.
I guess it was like White Weenie, and it was so fast.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty much the Pro Tour deck, but it had red for some random shit, like a token card, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like 2 and white red, and you create like 2 2/2s or 2 1/1s. And
oh yeah, that card's awesome.
Yeah, and all your creatures gain haste, I think.
Heroic reinforcements.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that card. That's actually the card that I always have to play around, and I'm always like, God, like I could do this, but if they have heroic, I'm dead. Like, oh, I could do this, but if they have heroic, I'm dead. And I'm just like, so many times, dude, I'm just like, well, to hell with it. If they have it, they have it. Like, so many times, dude, they slow roll you, like the really good players, or they're just top decking SOBs. They'll slow roll you and just like keep the red in their hand. They'll keep the red in their hand, and then you do something, you like tap out. They're like, oh, gotcha, heroic coming in there. You're just like, what? What?
You know what card I'm surprised doesn't see play right now is Skizik. I feel like Skizik is a card.
Oh man,
which one's Skizik?
It's a 5/3 for 4 mana. You sack it at the end of the turn, or if you pay the kicker on it, you keep it around. I love that card.
You love that card. I love that card.
Oh, we all love Skizik.
Oh man, if I actually had good cards back then, Sean, I should have built red green with Kavu Titan.
Dude, I have it. We should play it this weekend.
We should. You should show Nick those decks. Have you shown him?
Yeah, have I ever shown you the invasion block decks, Nick?
No. You keep those?
Yeah, man. Invasion block was boss. Great spells like repulse, exclude, recoil, stuff like that.
Man, I wish recoil would get reprinted, man.
It's a great card.
Oh man, I love that card.
I'm gonna look up invasion block right now.
Yeah, the there was a pro tour in Japan where they it was like the height of block excellence. Like meddling mage was in the format. I have like basically a Temur green red blue deck that's really awesome. Machine head deck that's like Nightscape Familiars and Blazing Specters and like Urza's Rages and all these other fucking awesome red burn cards. It reminds me actually a lot of the format right now. It was just fun, man. Just a well-crafted format. And
Invasion, Plane Shift, and Apocalypse.
Yeah, IPA. Good stuff.
IPA. I was about to say I have a shit ton of bulk, and I think I may have some shit from there. I was like, let me see if I can't try and hobble up a deck, but I'm like, I don't have enough fucking time for that. I'll just play with your deck.
I basically went to the Wizards website and copied a bunch of decks that were at this block pro tour and turned them into a gauntlet of decks of like 6 different decks. There's a 5-color deck, a red, green, blue, a red, green deck, Grixis deck, a blue-white deck, and something, and a red-white blue deck, and they are so fun to play against each other.
How do those decks beat Collective Restraint?
They don't.
Yeah, like thinking back, dude, I should have played that deck like all the time.
But the thing is, like, the domain deck suffers from like it has some bomb cards in it, and then it has some cards that are like just dog shit. Like Lay of the Land and Terminal Moraine and a bunch of other cards that are like super low impact.
Man, Terminal Moraine. That card
What's Terminal Moraine?
It's like a Terramorphic Expanse.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
The taps are colorless, but to go look for a land, you have to like pay 2 and tap it. It's so bad. It's such a bad card.
Wait, so it's a colorless land that you can pay to Terramorphic Expanse.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to pay 2 to Terramorphic or Evolving Wilds.
I want to say it like comes into play tapped or something too. It's so bad.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably play that over Evolving Wilds or Terramorphic Expanse. I'd rather just have my mana available immediately.
I don't know. It might even come into play tapped.
Oh, if it comes into play tapped, then it's like the worst fucking trash ever.
Yeah, but it searches for any basic land, so
oh, it's broken. It's a fetch land.
Yeah.
You so often like just harrow that piece of shit away. Like they'd like Terminal Moraine on turn 3 and like cool. Like,
hero.
Did they ever have what was it? Invasion? Did they ever invasion block PTQs?
Oh yeah. Dude, block constructed back then was the sweetest thing because it would always indicate to you what the new standard was probably going to look like, and people that grinded a lot of block had such a huge advantage because when a new set would come out, they just look at the set and be like, okay, these are going to be the decks then. Like I just have to test this and sideboard this, and like you had such a huge advantage going into the PTQ season for standard that. I mean, that was why I did. I freaking played Gifts Ungiven at States for Standard. I took my block constructed deck and went to a Standard thing and just jammed that, and I made top 8, and it was just so silly, like a block constructed deck winning almost taking down a Standard tournament.
That's synergy, man.
Dude, I swear to God, Max Roush at Epic probably won a Standard tournament with his spider spawning deck from Innistrad block constructed. That shit was fine-tuned, bro. That shit was fine-tuned.
Oh man.
By the way, shout out to Johnny Chop Shop in the chat right now.
Johnny's Chop Shop, huh?
Yep. chopping it
thank
up.
you, Johnny, for your awesome comment there. You are welcome for this podcast. But we're gonna round the corner here pretty quickly because we're gonna keep it a somewhat short show. We're at what 54, 55 minutes. We got time. I want to bring up PPTQs. PPTQs are dunzos, right?
Yep. This season should be the last PPTQ season, and we're going back to the old format.
I liked it back in the olden days.
Dude, I tell you, man, it was pretty messed up. The PTQ I went to before Thanksgiving, we had like 70 people there for a tournament that you had to win to go play in another tournament that you had to win to like
70,
qualify for the
70 people wanted that right.
Yeah, like I lost in the first round to like a pretty sick Boros deck who had like just an unbelievable draw and everything, but like I lost and I'm like, yep, I'm going home. Like I stick around to play like 5 or 6 more rounds and like XO this just to like lose in the last round. Hell with that.
Hell no.
Oh man! In a different reality, Dan would have gotten his PPTQ win, and then he would have won the PTQ, and then he'd be a Pro Tour champion.
There are enough realities to make that a real thing.
You missed your shot to become world champ, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, I know better. I've done those runs before, and it takes a lot of luck.
Yeah,
don't they have
lucky and good to win a tournament?
Yep.
Don't they have like? Can't you get some sort of PTQ entry through like GPs or like the side events of GPs? I think that's something that they're going to try and improve of in the future. From what I understand, they're going to try and make it easier to get in Pro Tours in general, which is why they're getting rid of these PPTQs, because it just consolidates the process and they want more people in these events because they probably see dwindling numbers and they're like, we need to regain interest in this so we can keep selling packs. So they're like, please come and play in our Pro Tours.
Hey man, I'm a success story of those kind of tournaments that get you into the event on hand.
Yeah, man.
Like when I did well at the Junior Super Series, it's because I went to Florida and played in like a qualifier for the big junior tournament the next day. I played in like an open basically and top 8'd that, and then came back the next day and got 9th at the JSS, and that's what got me a like $3,000 scholarship to go to community college. Woot woot. But I went the fucking day before, qualified, and then got in and did well. And you should be able to definitely be able to do that at big tournaments.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they're trying to make that an easier process to get that shit in order. So that way you're not in situations like Dan over here who goes X1 drop at PPTQs because it's not worth that grind. Just to play all day and then lose at the very end. Dude, I'd fucking rage if that happened to me.
Oh yeah, and it's Saturday, man. Like I'm gonna go and enjoy my Saturday. I had like a Friendsgiving dinner to go to, and like stuff I had to go get done for errands and stuff if I had the time. So I was like, yep, I'm done. I'm gonna go do more important things.
Very understandable.
PPTQs.
That's kind of why I stopped playing in Magic events in general, or just card events in general, because they take like 2 to 3 hours at the very least, and it's like, man, I'd rather get high and play video games or something, or like go hang out with friends and family or something.
Dude, we didn't start play until like noon for the first round.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. Like
so those people probably didn't leave that store until like 2, 3 in the morning.
Probably like midnight, but yeah, like it was pretty messed up, man. Like we were waiting for a car from Salem, and the dude I played against was actually one of the individuals that was in that car, and it was pretty funny because like he reminded me of a lot of myself when I was younger, like staying up all night and just like jamming games of Magic so that you're, wired when you get there. And he's like, yeah, I didn't sleep, and I'm just like, oh, cool. Came all the way up from Salem, didn't sleep, and his face is just like completely pitch red, and he's like cramming Red Bulls and stuff, and I'm just like
scratching his face like there's spiders coming in out of his skin.
Jesus, fucking sounds intense.
That's something else.
Oh man, it was crazy. It was. I'm just glad they're not going to be doing PPTQs anymore. It's really unnecessary, in my opinion, to just have that extra hoop to get through to get to onto the Pro Tour. I mean,
sorry, I'm just still distracted by your beat red face opponent just slamming down monsters. I didn't get any sleep. I came here to fucking win.
yeah, he was pretty hardcore. I'm not gonna lie, and I actually I had a hard time getting used to playing competitive paper Magic again because it's been probably 6 months since I played in a paper tournament, and I've just been jamming Arena all this time and playing a few casual EDH games here and there, But I actually made a play mistake because his what's the 2/2 that you can sack to deal 2 to a thing? It's like a goblin, something creator maker or something.
Yep.
Oh, the one that you can sacrifice a creature to destroy an artifact or something else.
Yeah, you can sack him to do that, to kill an artifact or deal 2. Well, he had it way over on the side, because his board was just 6 or 7 creatures and just all this crap going on, and I just spaced it, and I just didn't see it over there on the far right, and I'm like, he goes kill one of my guys for the 2 damage. I'm like, oh, that's relevant, and I'm just like, all right, well, new game plan.
Get fucking yeeted.
He got me in 3 games with Experimental Frenzy.
Hey, Experimental Frenzy. That's a great card.
Yeah,
that wasn't a fair replacement for Hazoret in that deck.
Yeah, it's sealed.
Oh, man, I lost my great 4-drop. It's not like I got a 4-drop that can get me 5, 1, and 2 drops. Let me just fucking burn through my deck and just machine gun you to death.
I Cleansing Nova that thing more than anything else. In my Jeskai deck, I have one Cleansing Nova that I float, and half the time I never even cast it because it being 5 mana. But that is the one thing that I'm just got to get that off the board now. Cannot let them untap with that.
Have you ever Cleansing Nova for an Experimental Frenzy only for them to resolve another Experimental Frenzy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, get out like that.
More than once.
Speaking of getting burned real badly, Rogue Deck Builder opened a really bad box of Ultimate Masters today.
Yeah. Gotta love these lottery tickets that people are trying to
What was this box topper card?
Noble Hierarch.
Oh, I was gonna say Tassiger.
Dude,
I wouldn't wish that upon a nice guy like Rogue Deck Builder. That guy's the business.
Well, he did it for someone on his Patreon or
Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon.
His Patron.
Patron.
Speaking to my Patron. So when people do that, when they do that for Patron or Patreon, does it go to the person?
I like Patron now.
Let's just act like we're really drunk when we say it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Patron.
Patron.
When a person does that for Patron, does the box stay with Rogue Deck Builder, or does it go to the person?
They ship it.
Yeah, they ship
So
it.
he just cracks it and ships it to the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, rock on.
And the dude's lucky that his box topper didn't get bent. So apparently what people are having happen is the card is shifting at the top and sliding to the side, and it just gets completely bent in half. And so what's gonna end up happening is people are just gonna
That's what they get for opening up those Ultimate Masters boxes and resealing them with a new card. They didn't have the foresight to think, oh, maybe we should hot glue this to the inside of the box or something.
Yeah.
What a bunch of retards.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
How disappointed would you be? You open up a Liliana, you're like, sweet, it's bent in half.
Or no, you see the bent pack and you don't want to open it because you're like, please don't be a Liliana, and you open it, it's a Liliana.
Dear Wizards of the Coast, please send me a replacement Liliana. It's all I want for Christmas.
Nope, they're gonna send you an Eternal Witness or a Stirring Wildwood.
I was about to say maybe that's a clever way to rip off Wizards. Just fucking get your pack, look to see if it's a shitty rare or not, bend it, tell them that it was bent, and then just fucking send it and get another one in the mail.
Hope they don't send you back the Stirring Wildwood that you sent them.
Uh-huh. Exactly what it is. They're like, Stirring Wildwood? Oh, we have 30,000 more right here.
Why do we get all these Stirring Wildwoods in the mail, guys? Like, what's going on?
What is it? Is this card like lighter than all the others? Is that why it's slipping through the cracks?
That's so bad, man.
No one ever sends in a bent Liliana. That's weird, guys.
Or the people that are like gonna try to like trick them, be like, I didn't open it, I don't know what it is, and it's really a Stirring Wildwood, and they just searched it with their light, and they're like, they bend it in half and send it in. So yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Gamers going game.
Oh yeah.
They send back like 8 or 9 of them. He's like a massive box opener, and they're all bad ones. It's just like, yeah, I don't know if it was like my case or something, but all my cards are bent. This is bullshit. Can I get something that's not Platinum Empyrean? Thanks, guys.
All I can say is I would not want to buy that product, because just watching the box opening that Rogue Deck Builder did, it is disgusting. Like I would be so disgusted to drop that kind of money and just like, yeah, you spent $350 and you got a Kozilek, but your box
could have had
topper.
a Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
Like what the fuck, man? What is Wizards thinking? Like
Could have had a V8, man. Fucking idiot.
Strong, Nick.
At least that has nutritional value.
Yeah. Could have had a V8.
But instead, I have a Kozilek and a shiny Noble Hierarch. Yay!
You got more than just a Kozilek, right?
I don't. I think he got a Liliana as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that was it. Liliana and Kozilek, I think. So his box topper literally saved his ass. If he had not gotten that Noble Hierarch, he would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, like at least $100, right?
Yep. And how is that? How is that like a good feeling? Like, just you spend this hard-earned money on Magic product, you open it up, and you just get shit on because of variants, and then you go and open up your box topper, and you get like an uncommon or a Stirring Wildwood.
See,
well, at least the uncommons are good, like Ewit.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kitchen Finks. That's kind of a shit one to get, but at least it's played in a format. But the Ewit one's going to be money. But
yeah, but you can't print an uncommon when it's like,
because then that just kind of really tarnishes the idea of masterpieces. Because
is that
it's
really
bad enough that masterpieces come in like lots of 40, but now you're having to. I mean, they already did it with the invocations with stuff like Divert and Capsize, and they converted those. But it's weird seeing that uncommon symbol on a masterpiece like card. It's just like, man, where the fuck is my money going now? Like, Wizards literally prints money, and they're kind of taking advantage of this situation. And I can tell just because I'm looking at a $60 to $70 variant of like random ass commander uncommon. But Wizards knows, and they take advantage of us because of it.
Here's a semi-related question. The lack of inclusion of Manamorphose in the set has driven the price up a little bit.
That's the point.
How long do you think until Manamorphose is reprinted?
Until it's until they can find a good spot for it in the reprint equity, because that's all Wizards is doing. Is like, because the last master set that I bought was Modern Masters 2015, or the last booster box I ever bought was Modern Masters 2015. I got burned really fucking bad on it, and I decided to just kind of look into the set, and I looked into the previous master set, and I was like looking at like modern card prices and decks like exploding up in value as a result, because it kind of caught my attention. I was like, okay, Daybreak, Coronet, I opened 2 of those, but they aren't worth jack shit. And I'm just like, okay, what went up as a result? So I've just been kind of paying attention to this, and it's just like, it's no secret that Wizards of the Coast is playing this reprint equity game. They're trying to balance cards maintaining a certain value. They want legacy decks to be like $1,500 minimum. They want modern decks to be around $500 to $1,500. Like, that's how they get us to keep buying master sets and commander stuff and stuff that reprints that, because these cards maintain this value. And it's infuriating seeing shit like Mox Opal blow up, Manamorphose fucking explode, but we get $50 Tarmogoyf. Fucking kill myself, dude.
Yeah, it's like easier for them to keep around their like enfranchised players than it is for them to gain new players that have never played Magic before.
And all those new players, the new players that are coming in from Guilds of Ravnica, see, because of the marketing tactics on like YouTube and shit, sees like this master set, and they're like, oh, there are these rare, like super valuable cards for this new modern format that I could play. And that's just kind of their game. Like every year to 2 years, they're trying to rake in a new group of newer players that will kind of get interested in these products and buy them out in droves, because it's like, oh, people pay fucking $300 for this shit, so let's just keep fucking doing it year after year. And they're just trying to phase out new players rather than keep older players. They're just, we got to keep getting money. And I feel like that's probably, it's just, I feel like it's rooted in that snowball effect of like appeasing investors, because quarter after quarter you have to see increases, and the best way to get increases from your consumer base is to not target those who know to buy singles over booster packs. You target the people that buy booster packs, which are new players.
Yeah, that's a little bit that's a Hasbro thing, I think. Like when Hasbro bought WotC, it really, a lot of things changed. The Hasbro CEO and marketing officer in charge of Wizards branding, like he set out on this like journey of like trying to brand Magic as like the Planeswalkers like story and everything like this, and that really kind of like took off like 10 years ago. And brought a lot of players into the game, but now we're seeing that kind of fade, because you don't have this huge influx of players like you did when you had the Duels of the Planeswalkers thing on the Xbox or whatever it was. But now, like, you have Arena, and that's their hope, is to really get a lot of new players through Arena, get them hooked, and then get them into Paper. And we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But I mean, Hasbro
needs to be available besides just PC if they want the same results that they had from Duels of the Planeswalkers, because the key was that all the filthy casuals that have Xbox and PlayStation are like, oh, I used to play Magic when I was a kid until my mom took my cards away. I'm going to play again. And boom, there you go. You just bring in a whole bunch of new players. And if they do that with Arena, at the very least, bring it to phones. It needs to come onto Android and iOS at the very least.
Yeah, I think over the next like year or two, you could really see a huge influx of new players or returning players just due to Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
whether or not it's sustainable is yet to be seen.
Yep, they need to print some good cards in Standard, man. Over Standard right now is like where Standard should always be at.
Yeah, they need to do a lot of things with the Arena. They need to figure out how to keep Standard interesting and fresh, because a lot of people that get invested in Standard, or at least the mobile card games, I'll notice that a lot of people will go check out the meta or net deck. Essentially, it's just a thing that people normally do, and people can piece together, oh, this format's broken, there's no point in playing it when I can just go play Artifact or Hearthstone or fucking Eternal or whatever. Because that's what else Wizards is trying to appeal to, is all these people that are trying to get into that shit, and like Gwent and all these other digital card games, and they're like, we need to get these people in because we're Magic and we're the guys that originated it. And one of the things that I'm really concerned about with Arena is that they are developing it seems like for everyone, when I think they really need to focus on making it a good video game at its core rather than a great Magic experience, because Magic in of itself is already a great experience if you know what the cards are and you know how to play them. Like, you don't need any more immersion than what is already presented to you in card form. The problem is with Arena, in my opinion, is that it's a piss poor video game that if I were not invested in Magic the Gathering, I'd probably play Arena for a couple days, realize that it's really shoddy and it's bare bones with no features, and it wants money out of you constantly, as a normal free-to-play game should. But this one is really stingy with what it gives you, that it just doesn't seem worth it at all beyond a Magic player's perspective.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Like, I think for a casual experience, as like I haven't put any more money into it, and I've just been doing dailies and grinding out a draft every once in a while, and kind of re-upping it until I can get a draft, and then playing every day to get all my extra gold and stuff. And I found it delightful. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, I think he's talking about more like getting a new audience that aren't like card game players. Like I really think that Magic is only going to appeal to like people that like card games, and they might not know it at first until they look at it and try it, and they might be Hearthstone players, and then they see Magic like, whoa, there's no RNG in this, that not nearly the level that there is in Hearthstone. Like there's going to be certain things of Magic that people will like and dislike, and it's going to be up to them to decide if they really want to take it upon themselves to learn the intricacies and the complexities of Magic. But the reward is there. Like Magic is the best game I think we can all agree on that we've ever played, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like people just have to give it a chance. And Arena is, I think, a great stepping stone for the future of Wizards of the Coast. Like I don't think it's the final solution, you guys. Like I don't think we're gonna look back on this and be like, wow, Arena was just really put Magic on the map. I think it's gonna be the stepping stone for the next big thing in the future. But only time will tell what that is. I mean, that's not my job to figure that out.
If it's going to be a stepping stone, they really need to nail that video game aspect of it. And that is my major criticism of Arena, is that it's a shitty video game. Yep. Magic is a great game. Arena is a shitty video game.
Yeah, I think they need to devote a hell of a lot more resources to it, and they just need to, put their money where their mouth is and just hire some freaking coders and devs that can code the shit out of that thing and get it on track to where it needs to be. Because right now, like, why does it take 2.5, 3 months or however long it was for us to play against our friends on the game? Like,
it was longer than that. The game had been out for almost a full year.
Yeah, but I'm just talking in the open beta process.
Oh, in the open beta,
had the closed beta keys, and like I had a bunch of friends that I got started on the game when it hit open beta. I told them, like, you need to play this game. You need to start right now, because now it's with it being free to play is when you want to grind everything out. And they're playing it and they're like, so can we play? And I'm like, not yet. Couple months.
Like, but you can do that in Hearthstone and Eternal and everything else and every other video game that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Can't do it here. Also, you also wanted feature X, Y, and Z. Sorry, no, not a thing. But you can wait for our Pauper event that comes about every other weekend and give us gold for that, or gems. But I'm glad that they finally brought the versus mode. But
yeah,
they need to get on it more. They need to stop with this whole, let's create a new format every week. Like, what's this new one? It's like some weird Cascade, like Nox's Cascade Standard. Quit focusing on that shit and that weird marketing, whatever the fuck it is. And
I actually really like that. I think it's great.
I mean, like, it's not a bad idea at all in terms of like what it is in concept and implementation. We just need more to the game. I need like a foundation.
It doesn't take away from the formats that other players have interest in playing, I'm fine with it, because you have to always keep into account or take into account like too many game modes. Like, you don't want to fracture your player base so that there's like 8% here, 10% here, 20% here, because then you might have this shattering of your player base that will just cause formats to die. And you just don't want to get anywhere close to that. And that's why I think they're really tiptoeing right now on offering I think it's only like 5 or 6 different formats right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and I agree, because like nothing really gets someone stumped than having too many options. You go to a new restaurant, you just see a menu and you're just like, I don't know what the fuck I want. And with Magic, it's kind of the same, but at the same time, that's Magic's biggest strength, is its customization in general. What cards you want to play? Well, it depends on what format you want to play. But like what you had mentioned, if you overwhelm a newer player with that much information, they're probably probably going to become so daunted that they'll just lose interest.
Yeah, just check out completely.
Yeah.
And then, did you get to play the Cascade constructed thing?
Nope, I haven't played Arena in like over a week.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's been a while.
Are you guys on the outs?
I think it was before this last episode was the last time I played Arena.
I played it once and went like 2-2. Had some fun, but not enough. Not as much as I thought I would, to be honest. I think like standard right now is just not in the right spot for like Cascade constructed to be a lot of. There needs to be more diversity. There was only like a couple decks that were really strong with it, and everyone was just playing those decks towards the end, and it was just kind of lame. I was like, man, this is kind of upsetting that like you have this great mechanic and this opportunity to like try cool stuff, and everyone just wants to play the same like 3 or 4 decks.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of the point, though. People are like rushing to solve the format, so that way they can figure out which deck is the best, and they can just grind out gold, because those payouts are pretty good for those weekend events. So they're need to get the gold out.
They are insane for free-to-play players that need to expand their collection, and you don't get the wild card ticker thing, but like 500 gold to like possibly open up 1 or 2 or 3 rares is a killer deal.
Mm-hmm.
But one last thing I have to talk about before we end the show, the CFO or CEO of Hasbro today announced that the printing of Magic cards is returning to North America.
Wow.
And their Chinese printing is like going on the wayside, and like
I thought they already printed in America, though.
no, there's still some Chinese printing still going on right now apparently, but he said today that they're bringing everything back to the States, and Magic was one of the things, and he specifically said that like Magic printing will be done in the States.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that it was printed over in China.
Yeah, I thought it was printed here, and one of the main issues is that our printers were shitty here, because over in like the European countries, the print quality is much better over there from like their Belgium plant, I think is what it is.
Yep. But that's what we have to look forward to now.
I wonder if that means just higher costs for cards.
Lower quality and more gains for their company because less
more
cost.
leaks.
Yeah.
Quote unquote leaks, even though I believe to this day that Ixalan sheet leak was intentional to get people hyped up on Ixalan, but
dinosaurs.
Them dinosaurs. All right. So I think we're going to end the podcast here. McBee, thank you very much for joining us.
Man, thank you.
No.
For all that you've done for us.
Thank
you to all of our people in our comment section.
Yes, thank you very much, Scrawn, Individualism Incarnate, Johnny's Chop Shop, and thank you again for your shout out earlier. And yeah, that's all that was chilling in the chat tonight. But still, it's pretty fucking great. It's always great having people hang out with us. It's always nice seeing a vague interest in this shitty, shoddily produced show. Dan, thank you for joining us.
Show research.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't be running 10 minutes late perpetually.
Aren't we all?
But I think I started the show on time, if not like a minute late at the most. But still, I'm getting there.
That going for you, which is nice.
Yeah, it's baby steps. We're getting there. Who knows? Maybe in a year from now, I'll be clean shaven and we can run the show in a nice, concise manner. But until then, this is going to be the worst Magic podcast on all of YouTube. And that is the Man of Dorks podcast.
No, it's not. I've heard way worse than us. Who's that Yahoo we had on last time? That guy was terrible.
What? John's amazing.
I'm just joking. His show
throwing
is
great. Shade onto the way out like that. Oh shit!
Jesus.
Need a gunshot sound.
Thanks for throwing me under my friends. That's wonderful.
That guy was awesome. I'm just joking.
Did you just call your friend a bus?
Dude, now you're wrecking fat jokes?
Yeah, you're the bus now.
You're the bus.
No, you're the bus. So, yeah, that is Dorks Podcast, episode 16. As always, I'm Tasty Snackies. You all been wonderful, and I'll catch you on the flip side. There we go.